the kind of act that you want to have though on like a boat like that. I feel like you want like, well, first 10 minutes is going to be like introduction. Then the next 10 minutes is going to be like, all right, here's talking about myself a little bit, doing regular stand up. Then here's the part where I bring a guy on stage and I give him candy.
Yeah.
Then here's the next 10 minutes after that. Who can dance?
Yeah.
Who can do, you do like a little contest in the crowd. And then bam, you're home free. You got 15 minutes left. Little Whitney Houston. And now, here's the thing too. You hit him first with the Whitney Houston. It's like the big thing. And then what you close with, it's like a medley. Where it's like, I'm going to do 5 songs, but I'm only going to do the first 10 seconds of each song.
Right.
Bam, bam, bam. And in the end, you hit that Elton John song. And it's like, thank you, good night.
Yeah.
You stand by the back. You sell some merch.
Say hello to the piano man. Say hello. Good night.
You don't even got to add punchlines. It's just you just got to sing a little bit. You do little tap a little. You do a little tap dance, and it's like boom. Once you get that act dialed in, though, it's like you do that forever.
Yeah, that's my game plan to just get it like that. I mean, but I'd like mine to be solid bits. But that
you say that now.
That really does destroy. I've seen it. You bring somebody up.
It's showmanship, man.
It is.
It's like, here's a little bit of this, because like, what am I just going to stand here and talk for an hour?
Right.
People, like that's cool for a while, but it's like, they want to see a little razzle dazzle.
Like back in the day, you ever watch that old vaudeville? These cats were doing that.
Yeah. I mean, you do some magic.
Yeah. Throw a baby.
Exactly.
That was huge in
your
vaudeville.
pocket. Yeah. I mean, the thing with like that throwing a baby, it's like, to me, when you really think about like, because when you start doing comedy, you just want to write jokes and you just want to be funny. But then to really be a comedian, you got to have an act. And an act means like, here's something I do every night. And this, I know what's going to happen. I know this part, then that part, then that part. And it's like, it's a combined spectacle. But like, if you see those guys in like street performers in like Times Square, those guys that do that thing where it's like, we're going to line these guys up and we're going to jump over them. And they have it so dialed in to the point where it's like, they know this is the part where we ask for money. This is the part where we get a first volunteer, second volunteer. Now we start building up the hype. Everybody wants us to do the jump.
Ask for more money.
Ask for more money. We're not going to do the jump they know we're not jumping for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
This is all pretext. We're only doing, the guy does like an hour-long performance. He only does like 3 things. But once you do it enough times, you have it dialed in where it's like, here's where I can ask for money. Here's where I can stall.
Yeah.
This corny joke that I do every day, here's where I throw that.
Yeah.
That's all it is for these, like, that's all it is to have an act. Where it's like, here's the part where I do real stand-up. Here's the part where I do some bullshit. And then, you go into the crowd a little bit, a couple card tricks.
Yeah.
You'll never be broke.
Back in the day, in those old vaudeville days, I've been getting into it. They'll tell him, your act's stale. He'll be like, no, I changed. I got my kid in it now.
Exactly.
And that's what they did.
Well, that like throwing a baby thing. We say it now. It's like, you say, oh, the guy threw a baby. But it's like, no, that was like 25 minutes.
Right.
It's not just throwing the baby. It's like, here's what I'm going to do. Here's the build-up. Then you throw a little fake out. Oh, you thought I was going to throw the baby. And then it's like the guy in the drummer's drum rolling. People get You do little, little host bullshit where you get them to clap on beat. It's like, you clap. It's like, and then finally 25 minutes later, you throw the baby and everybody's like, oh my God, you did it.
Yeah, there was special suits designed just to throw babies that had handles on them.
Yep.
How many people do you think didn't care about comedy? They're like, no, I just hate kids. Like, let's get into it. They had the rules back in the day where they had children's services back then trying to bust them vaudevilles, and they'd act like the babies were adults.
Well, it's like, I mean,
they give them cigarettes and stuff. They'd be like, look, guys, I'm trying to get out of here.
I think it's like, if you're like the Child Protective Services, you got to act like you're mad. But it's like, you get there, it's like, I want to see it,
Right.
Let's see a little action.
And back then, I don't know if back then that was an upgrade for the babies because they're working,
Right, yeah.
Show
babies
business.
Get, food and shelter. You're probably taking them out of it. I mean, it's not like it's the guy's kid. You take them out of an orphanage or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like working for the circus.
With the Marx Brothers, I think it was the kids, and they threw one of them, messed them up a little bit.
I think with the Marx Brothers, though, didn't they it's 3 of them, and then there's like a 4th rotating spot.
Yeah.
Where it's just like some guy that
that's
they
the
say
orphan.
Yeah. It's just some guy they say is the Marx. You put a mustache on.
Yeah.
You're back in.
People said nobody could follow the Marx Brothers back in the day. I wonder what they were doing.
It was just like, I think it was 2-man comedy. So it's like, Harpo and Groucho going back and forth, and they have like who's on first kind of routines. But yeah, then at a certain point, Harpo brings out a cane and does a little jig.
Huh.
You do a dance, you throw the baby, just do some like wacky shit, and then at the end, the same thing we do when it's like you ever do a show when you're not sure how to close and you realize you got the light already, so it's like, what do you do? What have people been doing in show business forever? Give it up for the wait staff.
Yeah,
Get them clapping.
that's a big one.
Get them on like a positive note. You just say, hey man, who had a birthday today? Give a round of applause for that guy, and then once they're clapping, you say, thank you, good night.
And then also people stage people in the audience.
Yeah, ringers.
That was a huge thing. Yeah.
People do that now with crowd work.
Oh yeah,
It's coming back.
I see it with comedians now. Even now, dude, I'll see them. They'll say, "Hey, what do you do? Are you an insurance adjuster?" And the guy will be like, "No." Like, it's such a weird question for crowd work that you almost need to plan it. So there's one comic. He'll say, "Listen, I'm gonna do a thing," and I worked with this guy like 5 times. He's gonna see this and be so pissed at me. But he gets people and they never get it right. The audience don't know. They're drunk. He's like, "Hey, what do you do?" And the guy's like, "Oh, well, I'm an engineer." Like he completely forgot his line.
Oh, right.
He'll tell him in the beginning, "Oh, you sit up front and we're going to do this thing. And you want to ask you what you do, tell him you're an insurance adjuster." And the guys will be all about, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." The 35 minutes into the set, who, me? Yeah. What do you do? Dude, I see it. It never works.
Wow.
Never.
And I mean, honestly, what is it even the bit going to be if it did work?
They'll even
so yeah, look at this. Yeah, look at this piece of shit. He's an insurance adjuster. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, they'll even be like, "Wait, what'd you want me to say? I'm an insurance adjuster."
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
what it takes. Gives them $5.
That's what it takes to survive, man.
You gotta drop 5.
Yeah, it's an investment.
5 in the bucket, man. Yeah, people go missing on these vacations. I didn't realize. I should have known because they kept recommending that movie Snatched with Amy Schumer, where she goes missing in another country, Ecuador. Yeah. I think they're trying to tell you, hey guys, don't do nothing dumb. People are so dumb, dude. Like some people, me too. I'm not saying anybody in general, but I heard a story about somebody just pulled up and said, "Hey, get in this van and ride." It was a pretty girl, and they just hopped in. I don't know if this was a cruise ship, but this is something from like they were in like DR or something. And then, dude, they're just gone forever now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, doesn't happen that much, right?
I don't know. Well, it all depends, I guess. How hot's the girl?
It's also weird too, because like people go on these cruises and get like blackout drunk. It's like free booze, and you're just in a foreign country, and it's like something's gonna happen to you.
And the alcohol hits you way harder in other countries because there's no regulation.
And you're dehydrated because you can't drink the water.
Oh yeah.
And you're just eating all this shitty food and just getting wasted every night. So it's like, yeah, you're in a place with like predatory people who like are trying to rip you off. So.
That's something about Bermuda. When you first move there, they say because I went there like a month ago. I was in Bermuda, and they say when you first move there, you get sick for like maybe like 4 or 5 months. You'll get a bug in your stomach because your stomach has to get used to the rainwater and their style. And the people that live there have different stomachs than anywhere else in the world. They have like different minerals.
It's your enzymes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild too, man, to think about that.
God. This makes me not want to travel, dude.
Right. You almost went missing. Remember me and you talked about this. You used to have a bit about it. Didn't you almost get abducted by the police?
Oh, in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just getting arrested, though.
Mexico's wild, bro. It is so completely lawless.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's the story I tell on stage. It's like in Tijuana, when you go to Tijuana, because like you can drink there when you're, whatever, teenager.
Yeah, 11.
So in San Diego, people go down to Tijuana. It's where everybody goes to drink. But it's like everybody gets arrested because the cops there are like, they don't get paid very much and they're just corrupt. But they all tell you like you're supposed to just bring in money separately to like bribe the cops. So it's like you're going to get arrested, but just give them $40 and it's like they'll let you go. But then they're telling you like, the thing they always tell you when you go to Tijuana, the one rule is always like, the cops are going to fuck with you, but whatever you do, don't get in the car.
Huh.
Just make sure you don't get in the car. You got to bribe them before you get in the car, because if you get in the car, then you go into jail. Then you're like in real trouble.
Wow.
So it's like me and my friends are going out to Tijuana, and we're there for like 20, 30 minutes.
How old were you?
19, 20.
Oh, yeah. Perfect age to get screwed over.
Yeah, college age. But it's like we'd all brought that money. And I remember like the cops ran up on us and they like took out. The first thing they do is they take your driver's license. So it's like, and now you can't get back.
Yeah.
And so they know you're screwed now. So we all tried to bribe them, but they wouldn't take our money. So like they just like put us in the back of the police car and they drove us up into like the hills of Tijuana and they were like telling us we were going to jail.
Huh.
So it was like, yeah. And I had to like, they didn't speak English. They all like pretended to not speak English. Of course they speak English.
Right.
They're in Tijuana. But it was like, I had to like, all my Spanish, like I took like 8 years of Spanish in high school and college, and it all just like came back to me right then.
Yeah.
I was just rattling off fluent Spanish.
Wow.
Out of nowhere. Yeah. And so like we had to negotiate our bribe, which was like, I don't know, $60 each, $80.
Damn.
So they took us back to the border, and we just like, we were in Tijuana like for like 30 minutes, and then we were in that cop car for like an hour and a half. Then we just went home.
Wow.
And I remember we were like, they like take you back to the border, and they were like, okay, you guys go home and don't come back. It's like, of course.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to stay in Mexico. So we start walking across the bridge, and we get like halfway across the bridge, and like 3 more Tijuana cops come up and try to arrest us again. Just because it's like they're just trying to get their paycheck or something.
Yeah.
And we just like said, no, we just did this. They're like, now you can go.
Wow.
So we just left. But yeah, I mean, that was like the closest I've ever been to it. It's like, cause I mean, I don't know exactly what would have happened if we wouldn't have gone to Mexican jail, but it's not good.
Oh, dude, I can get a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
It's funny how you could just be like, nah, we just went through this, man. We already bribed a cop. And then they're like,
I think they could see it on our face at that point where it's like, this guy's been through enough. But I mean, like, I think even that's actually preferable, though, to being in, like, I think the DR or being in, like, imagine if you were in, like, Haiti and that shit happened there.
Yeah, you're
where
done.
They're not used to, like, because the Tijuana and even, like, Cancun, they're used to tourists everywhere. Even, like, Punta Cana is probably like that.
Right.
But if you're, like, if you get, like, off the beaten path and you're in some other shit, like, small city, and then the cops arrest you there, those cops legit don't speak English.
Yeah.
And they're just down to, you know.
Yeah, Ensenada's probably the closest I've been to being a crazy place, and I doubt it was anything like Tijuana.
Ensenada is still pretty nice. That's
Yeah,
it's way nicer than Tijuana.
Yeah, for sure.
All the criminal parts of Mexico are right by the border.
Oh, that
Once
makes
you get
sense.
the further you get into Mexico, you're much safer. But it's like all the drug shit happens like what's it called, Juarez,
Yeah.
right by Laredo, Texas, or like Tijuana, or all the border towns. That's where like cartel shit's happening.
Yeah, I know Jamaica, Jamaica for sure, DR, and without a doubt Haiti.
Yeah.
Dude, they won't even let you go to. I don't even think me and you could just go to Haiti outside the tourist area.
Yeah.
Even if we wanted to, I don't think they would let us.
You could, but it's just I don't think people do it.
In Jamaica, they wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
Like nobody. The person at the hotel, they're like, no, you need a soldier with you.
Right. Take this AR.
Imagine being with your girlfriend and you're like, babe, no, we're getting him to protect us.
Right. Well, that's like, I mean, that's some extra baller shit.
And then the thing is, too, dude, you go down there with your girl, then you're really in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you don't want to be messing around in DR with a pretty girl.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy, man, when you go there and you just see how beautiful it is, though. Like, the colors and everything, and then you don't realize, yeah, there's a guy hiding behind that bush.
Right.
And he's about to rob me, for real.
Right, yeah. That dude is in, like, really good shape.
All it really takes is your car breaking down there. Like, we're driving through areas, and the guy was like, if our car break down, won't nobody find us again. I'm like, dude, I was just like, please let the car run normal.
Wow, and you know it's like a fucked up car, too.
And, oh, yeah, it was real
It's
messed up.
some old-ass, like, Toyota Corolla they don't
It
even make
wasn't even
anymore.
a Corolla. It was like a Pilot. I never even
Yeah.
heard of it.
It's some extra shit.
Yeah.
Some, like, Korean-made shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, dude, he's driving fast. People are coming by with mopeds and banging on the sides of the van.
Wow.
He's like, put your window up. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
People,
I see, though, I bet if that car broke down, I bet you could, like, pop open that hood and, like, you could still see what's going on in that engine. It's
Probably.
like if it's like a Tesla and that broke down, you wouldn't even know what you're looking at.
Right, put some more hamster food
But
on there. Dude, if you open up a Tesla hood, it just looks like the hood underneath.
Yeah.
Did you
It's just like the battery.
It's just a big piece of plastic. It
Yeah,
says
it's just
Tesla.
It's a big iPhone under there.
Yeah, there ain't nothing you could touch.
But those old, like those like tropical cars where it's like this car originated in Europe, then it got sent to Korea, then 30 years later, now it's in Jamaica. I bet you pop that shit open. It's like, no, carburetor, spark plug,
Yeah, probably
transmission.
guaranteed.
And it's all just like, it's the classic kind of shit.
Yeah, dude, how about on those international flights when you're going somewhere like that, Portugal, and we went through like the flight, dude, every announcement they have to do every language.
Right.
It's like we had 1 hour of announcements and then finally the English.
Wow.
The plane's all shaking, dude. You hear emergency. You're like, dude, can somebody please tell me what's
right?
Do I have to wait the hour? They say it in French. They say it in Spanish.
Oh, I mean, it's international.
There wasn't many Americans on the boat.
Oh, really?
Well, on my flight. I don't know why I said boat.
Do you think you're going to keep going back out? All right. You got more?
Yeah, dude, I'm actually going, I got 2 back-to-back that are going to the same place. I'm going to Turks and Caicos, which the area I go is cool. Like,
yeah.
I'm going there. I'm going to the Bahamas and Grand Turk, Princess Cays. So a few places in the Bahamas. And then
you bet at this point you've seen all this shit like a bunch of times.
Oh yeah,
right?
where we're going,
You're
I
just
know
home.
The drug dealers. I know them all.
Wow.
And I don't buy off them or anything. They just know me
Wow.
from asking me all the time.
Yeah. At some point you just get to start a little family in each of these places.
People do.
You get your DR family. You get your Turks family.
What do you think would happen with that? You think I could even do that?
I'm pretty sure you could. Yeah. I don't think you got to apply for anything there. You don't got to get a license.
Yeah, I wonder if anybody does that. It's still expensive to live out there. Like Lisbon, it blew me away. Like,
oh yeah, Portugal is crazy expensive.
Yeah, dude. And to me, I just thought in America we're the most expensive, but
no, I mean like Europe is way more expensive.
Yep, for housing.
Yeah.
The other stuff they give you a deal, dude. You open up a bag of chips in Europe, it's actually filled with chips.
Yeah, wow.
Even the bottles of water, you crack that thing open, it's dripping on you.
Wow, you're not getting screwed over like here.
They take care of you.
Yeah.
I don't know how the people are so thin because you think New York's got a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
Dude, Lisbon, maybe 60,000. I don't know. Little dessert spot, pizza spot.
Well, all of our food here is like corrupt.
Yeah.
It all comes from the same like 2 corporations and it's all got corn, sugar and shit in it. But in Europe, I think it's all like actual food.
They're General Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you very rarely see, like, the amount of delis that we have here are actual food places there.
Right.
You rarely see a deli with, like, chips and shit. People ain't really eating that shit over
Yeah, you don't
there.
see, like, big fat guys either, right?
No, I didn't really see any.
I think if you're, like,
steps too.
if you're in that kind of place and you're, like, the big fat guy, it's like you're probably, like, a gangster or something.
Yeah, you need a little mustache.
Yeah.
Everybody smokes.
Oh, yeah.
That's another reason why my waiter brings me my food. He's got a cigarette in his mouth.
Wow.
Yep. In the restaurant, everybody just smokes.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I got to get on these cruises, bro.
Dude, I can't wait till you do.
I've been working on my act. I'm getting back into doing stand-up now.
Yeah.
I'm back in the mix. I'm in front of these fucking tourists now. So it's like, man, I gotta figure out my little act.
I'm telling you, the keyboard.
15 minutes of stand-up, 20 minutes of keyboard. That's 35 minutes. What, you're doing an hour?
No, well, it depends on the ship. You'll be doing a half hour. And, the first few minutes, you got to thank the people. Hope you're having fun.
Who's from, also, it's like, man, who's from where?
Right.
That's got to be like, because everybody's from somewhere different, right?
Milk that out.
So you got, that's what, like 6 minutes at least?
Yeah.
It's a big room, too. So it's like, this guy's from Alabama, this guy's from Texas.
Give it up for the wait staff.
And you play them against each other, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, Alabama, Texas, huh? College football.
Oh, yeah. You know about sports.
Oh, yeah.
That'll probably help you out in that situation.
I know a lot of state names, too, man.
Yeah, dude.
You could play like, hey, everybody say your state. I'll say the capital.
Can you really do that?
No, I can study, though. I got good memory. Kansas City.
Yeah, you got to do a little bit. If you bring a keyboard and guitar, but then you got to worry about the check bag. They reimburse you.
Oh, right,
but,
yeah.
you're going to have to.
It's a write-off.
Yeah, you're going to have to check some
I'll bring
shit.
a harmonica.
Dude, you would kill it out there.
A little synthesizer.
Harmonica, keyboard. I know you would kill. Even if you brought your laptop and just did regular music.
Yeah.
Like Crazy Sounds with Dan.
Yeah. Hey, who likes Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Let's play Name That Tune. Huh?
Shake it off. You could mix it up a little.
Man, I'm just thinking about it, though, like how much I could... thinking about it just as a pie. How much I'm slicing off with each of my little hack bits. Who's from where? Hey, who... hey, would you fuck this girl? You get some old woman on stage. Hey, who would fuck this woman?
Right. Now,
you.
sometimes you got to be a little careful with the dirty stuff, I'm realizing.
Yeah, really.
It could kill or it could not, but...
I could think that's going to destroy, bro.
Yeah, well, you never know, dude. My last show, people were complaining I wasn't dirty enough, so my last show I was dirty, and then people were upset I was too dirty. They're like, but people don't want to hear that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But if you do, dude, if you could get a little juggle, a little card trick going...
Yeah, man, you put them on stage and you do the arms behind them.
Yeah.
2 people and they're doing some shit. Yeah.
Oh.
A little pie in the face.
I could imagine you killing it.
I want to just I'll read one of those. I get that vaudeville comedy book from you, and I'll just start stealing bits.
Right.
Yeah, do a little ventriloquist act.
You know what blows me away is I didn't realize back then how many shows they actually did. We think, in New York we're doing a lot of shows now. In vaudeville days, people did a crazy amount of shows per night.
Well, it would be it's once an hour, basically.
Yeah.
It's the kind of shows where it's when you go to Universal Studios, and it's here's the dolphin thing.
Right.
And it's the dolphin show happens at 1, 1:30, 2, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you just get them in, get them out.
And vaudeville was pumping like that from afternoon till night.
Yeah.
People were, and think about it, no comedian's writing a joke as good as a pie in the face, throwing a baby, tap dancing with a mustache on. You know,
having a 2-man act too, or you're just one of the guy. That's what's so sweet about old-fashioned comedy is that there's 2 guys on stage and one of them's not even funny.
Right.
The one guy's the straight man. They're both I bet they split the check halfway.
Those old time guys, yeah, they probably do.
You just got to be a dignified guy in the suit, and then every once in a while you get a pie in the face.
They say Frank Fay was the first comedian to start being just telling jokes from vaudeville. He'd just stand up and tell jokes, and everybody'd make fun of him. He'd talk about the room, but then slowly he developed it into an act.
Right.
They'd be like, "You don't got an act. You're not a comedian." That's back in the day. They said you're not a comedian if you don't got props.
You're just talking.
Yeah, if you don't got props, you need an act.
Right. Hey,
Phil
kid.
Silvers.
Hey, kid, you don't got it.
Yeah. You ain't got. You need an act, kid. I'll sell you a gag. And then he sold him 6 gags. And next thing you know.
But I think it was also because you're doing so many shows, I think that's when late night was actually this is a late night act. Because during the day, I think you're doing regular people jokes. Yeah. But then I think 2 in the morning, you're still there. That's when you're getting on the piano and you're getting crazy.
But even back then, you couldn't work dirty. People still did it, but they'd get fined. That's where the term working blue came from.
Right.
The blue card if it was too dirty. I always thought people were dirty back then.
Well, I think it was you were allowed to cheat on your wife and beat your kids and stuff, but you just don't talk about it.
It was a lot of character type stuff. I guess you were allowed to do that back then. That is wild, but it was a lot of character stuff, like the cop and the prostitute or something like that. The criminal and the cop, or the those things.
It's like sketch comedy, basically.
Right.
2-man sketch comedy. It's a shame we can't. I wonder if they'll let us do that on the boat. Bring back 2-man comedy.
I bet you they probably would, but you'd have to split the check, I bet.
Oh, yeah, it's no good. That's the only problem with this whole thing is that you do really just have to go out on your own.
I wish there was something. I'd say Eric Andres is the closest to reaching the vaudeville level of crazy.
I mean, there are people who do UCB sketch comedy, and they do improv, and they're kind of doing wacky stuff. But it's nowadays that's for theater kids, where it's you're an actor or something. But back in the day, that's just what everybody was. You were expected to be multi-talented.
But can you imagine if comedians went on stage and hit somebody in the face with a pie? No, dude, it's gonna have to kill.
Yeah, I don't think they're not doing it as much in America, but. We talked about this once before, but you ever be walking around somewhere in New York and you see a poster for a Greek comedy show?
Yeah.
It's always some dude who's dressed as a woman. And he's dressed as his 4 different characters. Or him as a woman, him as an old man with a mustache.
Yeah.
And his face is all wacky. And you see the show is at 6 p.m. at a school.
Yeah.
That's what comedy is in the rest of the world.
That is
everywhere out of America. It's comedy is just a guy in a dress. It's this is it.
I mean, for some reason it kills. I don't know. When's that going to be not allowed?
I mean, I think those countries, 20 years, they're going to catch up to us in terms of, cultural mores. But that's all. I mean, when we were kids with Mrs. Doubtfire,
Yep.
that shit would never fly today.
Look how big what's its name was though, Medea.
Yeah. Even that, I don't think you could do that anymore.
Right.
It's not a good look.
Martin Lawrence.
There's the certain, it's the kind of comedy where you don't even really got to set it up. There's no like, hey guys, I'm this character now and this is my background. It's like, no, a guy walks out dressed crazy. People start laughing.
Yeah.
It's built in.
The last one I seen was that comedian in New York. He was killing too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he does that in acting. But I mean, like, I guess if you're like, thing about what we're talking about is like being a hack on the road. I mean, you do got to do it every day. I mean, these guys that you work with, these guys, they're doing it. I mean, not only week after week on these boats, but year after year. How many times have you sang that same Tina Turner song?
Nothing's worse than bombing in character. Not that I can live from it, but I seen it.
I think it's almost better though, right?
Dude, I witnessed a bad one. This dude's name was Pimp Sausage.
Okay.
Akron, Ohio.
I'm on board.
Dude had the platforms with the goldfish in them.
Okay.
Purple suit. The confidence in the world. The worst set. No laughs. Dude, not dead quiet.
What was he doing?
He was just trying to do jokes.
It was like jokes, or he's doing.
It was
like
all about being a pimp.
Character
Everything
bits.
was like, yeah. He's like Pimp Sausage, and he's like, this and that. Just saying it, you would think there's no way this wouldn't work.
Wow, this is an open mic or is it like a showcase?
This was a contest.
Wow.
Yeah. And I guess he had to be pretty good because he made it through the first round, but it could have been one of those things where it was just your friends came and support you.
Well, I think when someone puts this much effort into it, it's like, all right, we got to see a little bit more. It's just, this guy at least put some work into it.
Nobody wanted to see no more of this. Dude, it was like, 5 minutes set felt like 15 minutes.
Wow.
And he's just up there. He's like just bombing.
Clearly, he must have just been like an open micer, though. He wasn't like, this isn't an act he's been touring with.
Yeah, he couldn't have been. He would have had, let's hope not.
Because these guys on the boat that you're working with, they've been doing this forever.
Oh, yeah,
So
and these guys nail it.
These jokes, well, it's like at some point they had to build each of these little bits, and it's like, all right, it works now. Now I can just do it like this.
Right.
But it's like that pimp thing. It's like that guy was still in the working out phase.
That's one thing about the boats. You're forced to work out all your material. Like these guys do, man. When you talk to these guys, they have 6 hours of comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, there's no fat on it.
Yeah. And they've been doing it forever, though.
Yeah. Some of them 40 years.
Yeah, but those same jokes, it's like you don't got to write any more jokes at that point.
Yeah, no. You're
6
right.
hours, 6 boats, whatever.
Yeah, you're going to keep, if you got that much material.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to remember. The people I see them a year later. They don't remember the jokes.
Right. Yeah, they don't care.
Or 6 months. People will be like, I just seen you 6 months ago.
Plus, if you are like a hack and you're doing like, harmonica comedy, it's still funny.
Right.
If you think it's funny the first time, you're going to laugh the second time.
I need to learn that type of stuff. I'd really be blowing the boats away.
Ah, man. But, do you want to, once you go down that road, there's no turning back.
I don't know. On the boats, I think it's okay.
But like once you start doing that, though, once you become the king of the boat, you don't like, all right, I'm going to start doing clubs, theaters, and stadiums now. It's like, no, you've gone down a dark path.
I wonder, probably, because you don't want to hone the harmonica tooth coming out.
Well, it's like anytime you do regular stand-up and you get like a 7 out of 10 laugh, you're going to be like, I could have brought the harmonica.
Yep, the fake tooth.
Yeah. I could have said, hey.
And the tooth goes flying.
Yep.
Was that my bicuspid? I'm just joking.
Anytime, yeah. It's like, I could have pressed the button and my bow tie would have spun. I would have really got these fucking idiots.
Tap dancing. Dude, if I could tap dance, that would just be so funny.
Yeah. I feel like, though, whenever I've been around these kinds of hacks before, because I've only seen it in like a club context, but guys who have been around for this long, they're like headlining veterans. Those guys kind of hate. First off, they hate their act because it's stupid.
Right.
But they also kind of hate the audience.
Right.
They despise their audience. It's like, I can't believe these fucking people are falling for this.
You ever see somebody that's mad with one of those? I seen the guy with the flower, the water flower, and he's yelling at the audience, and it's like, dude, you can't be mad and be this fun guy with the water flower.
But it's both, because that is naturally how he feels.
Yeah.
That's how Gallagher was such an angry person. he's doing such a fun, wacky act, but deep down he has that resentment.
Yeah.
Where it's like, in your head that you could be doing something that's actually authentic, but it's like, but that's not what these fucking people want.
Right.
I see it every night now. We're doing the spot, and it's like that club. It's like, what these fucking people want.
Hump the stool.
I mean, I can't give it to them because I don't really have those chops. But if I did have those chops, then there had to be a decision of like, am I going to kill or am I just going to not kill?
That's the boat I'm on. Not the boat, but that's the position I'm in all the time.
You got a bag full of tricks. It's like, are you going to bring out the bag or are you going to not?
That's what I tell you. And I'm like, dude, honestly, I'd rather bomb and work on the stuff because then at least you're working it.
Wait till you got a family, though. Wait till you got a Dominican family and you got a Greek family. And
when I'm at that club, though, I know I could easily be like, oh, look at this girl's got big breasts, Dude, instantly gonna kill.
That's funny.
Yep.
It sucks though, because that you got to get through this zone of like, once we get to the next level where we actually got fans from doing this, then we won't have to do all this gimmicky bullshit. But also, it's like, I mean, you can't turn down money.
Would we still be funny though, or are we just funny?
Here's
to
the
our
problem:
fans?
is that all of this hacky stuff. Like you said that thing, look at this girl with big breasts. That's funny.
Yeah.
So anytime we ever try to make fun of a hack, it's still a funny act.
And then look what they do. They'll be like, boom, boom. You're gonna laugh.
And it's like, I get in my head about this sometimes when I'm doing stand up, where it's like, because I have new jokes that I'm still working on, and I have my old act that I've been doing forever. And it's like, sometimes it's a Saturday night and it's like, it's crowded. I know these people all paid way too much money. So it's like, I'm going to give them the good jokes.
Right. Look at them boobs.
Well, it's not, I don't even do that, but I'm going to do my regular jokes that I'm sick of, that I know work.
Same with me.
My 10 out of 10 jokes. I know this is going to work. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to feel great about myself because it's been 5 years of doing these jokes. But, my responsibility is to put on a good show there.
Right.
But, I mean, sometimes it's a Monday night and it's 11 o'clock. And it's like, all right, now I'm going to actually do what I want to do.
Exactly.
It's like, who gives a fuck? This is the stakes are low.
I'm the same exact way. That's where you kind of do get like, I feel the same way because I seen one time this girl, she's like, I just always want to see New York comedy, and she's in front. And dude, the ticket seller waxed them, dude.
Oh yeah.
The tickets were on. I think the tickets say already on them $30.
Yeah.
And it was a $20 ticket, but they have like weekend tickets for $30.
Yeah.
And then what do you call? He goes, oh no, it's the weekend, so it's an extra $10 a ticket. So they ended up spending $40 a ticket. And dude, so you're counting 40, 80, 120. It's a mother, father, daughter. 120. They get in the door, and then now they hit them for the 2 drinks. Dude, she's counting change. She's got 2 different credit cards. She's like, is there any way one drink we just spent all this money on the tickets? Bro, the guy says, nope, no way. Go find your ticket seller. They just got honed out, dude.
And these people, like, some people really come to New York wanting to watch stand-up comedy.
Yep.
I mean, they could have gone to see Hamilton. They could have gone to Broadway, but it's like, no, we really want to watch comedy. And it's like, when you realize that, especially front row, you can see it on their face.
Right.
Some people are really into the show, and it's like, I got to give them a good show at this point. I'm not even getting paid, but I feel bad for them. So it's like, we have a certain responsibility to like, all right, let's not. Plus, it's like they're going to go home. Maybe they go see other comedy, because most people who go to comedy shows are going for the first time.
Right.
So it's like, we will hopefully get a good first impression. They keep, the business builds.
That's where I was kind of starting to get a reputation for being hard on other comedians. Like, I'd be like, I would see them on a Friday just screwing off. Like, man, screw them. And I'd be thinking, well, now these are more people that are never going to watch comedy again. You're going to try to fight them.
I feel so bad. Where it's like, anytime I have to think about, especially because like I'm as broke as I am now, it's like I cannot even fathom spending $30 on a ticket like that plus $12 Bud Light, and it's like, good God. Hopefully someone's gonna pull out their fucking phone like, what happened today?
Man, well, you guys suck. Let me say that. Hey, you're fat, miss. I've seen comedians just straight. That's your wife. She's fat.
Yeah, that's funny. I'll accept that as a setup to a joke.
One of the craziest things I seen, a guy asked to go before me once, and he said he's a comedian out of Atlanta. And he goes up, dude, and he just has all the girls just feeling on him, on his private parts. He like had it, he worked it up and got it going. And he's just like, yeah, feel that. And that's what he says. He's like, that's a black man right there for real. And then I had to just go up and just do my jokes.
See,
everybody in the front row.
You wish you could have had a harmonica then.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of juggling.
I would have put it in my pants. Look, that's a white man.
See, that guy, though, I mean, like, it's at least that act is kind of original, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna accuse him of mailing it in, or it's like he didn't just stand up there and talk.
And you're not gonna be like, dude, that was a Dangerfield joke.
No. This guy was like, just imagine what that guy at some point. That guy's probably been doing that bit for like 20 years, but at some point he had to do it for the first time.
Yeah.
And he's like at an open mic, and he's like, I don't know how this is gonna go, but I got this crazy idea.
He probably just stumbled on it, like they had to stretch a little. He had no more jokes.
It's 35 minutes. It's like, oh, shit, the check drop's coming. No more crowd work. All right, what am I going to do? This lady in the front row. All right. Let's try something else out, huh?
Yeah.
The show is going to be 3D now.
It's all timing.
Yeah.
That one.
And then after that, you got to go to your closing bit.
Oh, yeah.
Try to sell some T-shirts at the end.
They got a big dick on them.
Yeah, right.
Or an arrow pointing down.
Well, after that show, he's just driving home in his head, and he's like, it's like you got two paths you can take. I can keep going down the dick path, or I could try to, correct and do something else.
This guy obviously kept going down the dick path because
exactly.
he was like a 20-year vet.
Yeah. And I mean, like, he probably bought a house off of that.
He told me, he's like, my bad, usually that one really kills. Right before I went up.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, I can't ever imagine that joke ever working.
I could see it working.
He didn't have no punchlines. They were all feeling on it. His whole thing was...
They're going to laugh already, right?
The whole jokes were like, he was saying like, oh, she really grabbed it. She barely grabbed it.
Wow.
She grabbed it hard. And then, he'd go up to a guy, go ahead. What are you afraid of?
Wow.
See,
I could see a crowd. You can't imagine a crowd of like some drunk-ass middle-aged women who are just loving that.
The girls were loving it, but we did this show in front of 500 people. It's like, you need some jokes.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a little time with it.
Yeah.
2 at a time. Just get them all lined up.
Yeah, get the nuts too.
They just start walking, just taking turns. It's like taking photos after a show.
Now, if that guy gets famous, is that something that can come back and bite him, or is that like smoking a cigarette on stage? It's like, no, I'm an entertainer. That was
right.
It's a performance.
That's true. Well, I mean, that's the risk. That's the reason why no one else is going to do that bit.
Right.
So it's like you got a high risk, high reward.
Yeah, I don't know how good the reward was on that one.
I mean, I could see it being, I could see that going south too. So
I wonder how at least that would work in every country.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, no English,
dude. But you would think so many people know English, dude. I'm telling you.
No,
a lot of people don't know English.
I can't believe you didn't think people speak English.
Yeah, I just thought, I'm in France. I figured everybody there obviously is going to speak English first.
No. Why would they speak English first?
I don't know. I guess I just never thought. I thought like 90% of the world spoke English. It's like the opposite.
No, of course not.
I'd say like maybe 20%, probably 30.
Yeah, and it's like probably only like 30% speak it as a first language.
They don't get references.
Yeah, how would they?
Yeah.
Even
little stuff like, it's just so hard to communicate with certain people. I couldn't get nowhere when I was in, where was I? I want to say it was Malaga. Yeah, Malaga, which is in Portugal. I couldn't find one person that knew English. Like, I went up to everybody, 20, 30 people.
Walk around this neighborhood and try to find someone who speaks Portuguese. It's like, will you be surprised? It's like, nobody speaks Portuguese here. Are you fucking kidding me? So, just a Portuguese guy at CVS yelling at people. Just one.
Oh my God, dude, that is so
Please.
True.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I'm like, nobody knows English.
Yeah. I remember when I was studying in Singapore. I mean, like a bunch of college students were all in Singapore from America, and this one kid kept trying to spend U.S. dollars, and it's like, no, we just flew 16 hours. Why would they take U.S. dollars?
Right.
It's like it's $1. Why wouldn't you want it?
Yeah.
It's like what? I mean, you're in a different country.
I ran into that in Europe. A lot of people only took euros, and it makes sense. They don't
Why
know
wouldn't
how to
they?
convert it. Yeah.
Well, what are they going to spend $1 on? So?
Right. They can't even use the shit.
Yeah. If someone tried to give you a euro here, you wouldn't take it.
And the euro's worth more than the American dollar.
Yeah, but it's like there's a reason why different countries have different currency like that.
What is the reason, though?
They can control it, so it's like you can control inflation and stuff. And,
Yeah.
macroeconomics.
The more I talk to you, macroeconomic, I should have went to a different school. Like my school.
Should have finished high school.
Yeah, but even when I was in high school, we just learned the Civil War. We learned a few wars,
Wow.
few diseases.
College football.
Yeah. No, not even that. We learned like nothing really, dude. We didn't really learn much. I'll be honest with you
Man.
about world history. I don't remember learning much about the world when I was in school.
Do you think when the people in Europe, when they saw you, do you think they thought you were like a dumb guy? Or how do you think you come across?
Over there?
Because you're not like a big, loud, drunk person. That's the worst.
Yeah, at least polite. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I wish I did know. Imagine just knowing what they did think of me. I mean,
But
think
you get
in
the
general,
vibe, though, right? They're not like hostile to you.
No, but I think in general, I think people just dislike Americans as it is.
Right.
They do think we're stupid. Like, what somebody told me actually from Croatia? I don't even know what Croatia's like. They're like, Americans babies, the plane, the wings smoking. Oh, Americans scared. I sit there, what? The wind blow it. I'm like, no, dude, the wing is smoking on the plane. It's okay to be scared. Like, what's Croatia like that's not a problem?
Right.
I
think they realize, too, where it's like you're on the plane at this point. I mean, you're not going to, being worried about it's not going to fix the smoke. I think the guy is just like, this is just how it is.
Yeah.
That's how I think people in other countries are more like, especially if you're from a country with like a really bad history. That have like a big, like authoritarian government or dictatorship, kind of communist countries.
Yeah.
Where you're just used to it. In America, where it's like, this stereotype of like, I want to talk to the manager. Who's in charge here? And you want to complain. And you think, oh, if something happens, I'm going to file a lawsuit. And I'm going to do all this and that. In those like Eastern European countries, it's like, now whatever happens, that's just, I got to accept it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, there's no rice today. Or it's like, all right, I guess that's just how it is. There's no like, oh, I'm going to file a complaint and this person is going to pay. It's like, no, you have no power.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
it's like, no, the plane is on fire. It's like, all right, I guess I got a bad plane.
Oh,
Whereas
I see what
in
you
America,
mean.
people would be on Twitter saying, oh, American Airlines, how dare you?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this, and this. I'm going to call the Better Business Bureau. But it's like, you go to China, you go to Eastern Europe, Russia, or it's like, no, this is just, you're just an old lady who just like, this is, I guess I'm going to die today.
What do you think it is like? Have you ever been to China?
No.
Oh,
I've been
dude.
like the region, though.
I would love to go. I just seen a TikTok video.
Well,
where
if you're mad now that no one's speaking English, wait till you can't even read the signs.
Yeah.
At least you're going to countries now with like the letters are the same.
Yeah. I was just seen a thing with Puerto Rico. A dude was in Puerto Rico. He exchanged $10,000 in Puerto Rico, American U.S. dollars, for Puerto Rican money, 10,000 in wherever, like Puerto Rico or DR.
Yeah, they don't do Puerto Rico.
My bad. Yeah, I think DR. And he goes, "What do you call?" They gave him money from China.
Wow.
I guess that was a major ripoff. What,
Yeah.
Chinese money ain't worth shit.
Well, it's probably just like they gave him fake money or something. Because he probably just didn't know the currency exchange or anything.
Yeah, dude, it blows me away how different this world is. Like how big Asia is. I couldn't even imagine. It would take
just
you.
think within China too. I mean, like, or India. I mean, you think about Chinese as being a language, but within China, there's like 100 different languages.
Like you can never even see all of China if you wanted to in your lifetime, right?
Oh, it'd be like no one sees all of America. We haven't seen all of America.
Yeah, you're right.
We haven't seen most of it, probably.
I did see a lot of America. I could say that, but not like, like maybe 20% of America.
Yeah, exactly. You haven't been to most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these places. There's like
and probably not even 20% when you really think about it.
I mean,
I just drove through Kentucky.
You flew over it
right
at some point. Yeah.
Yeah,
but you didn't like go off the sides and shit.
And really check it out. Like I might have been in Kentucky for a day.
Yeah.
But you're not seeing all of Kentucky in a day.
Yeah.
You got a place on your bucket list you want to go to?
Not really.
No.
Whatever bug people have for traveling, I don't really have it. I think I wouldn't mind going to see, if I was in Europe, going to see like Prague and like old Europe. Like that Gibraltar shit sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, Portugal or something. But it's not like a huge priority for me, to be honest. I'm down to read about the Rock of Gibraltar. I don't really need to see the Rock.
Yeah, nah, dude. Come on. You can't just read about it. You got to go physically risk your life.
Yes, yeah. Go fight some monkeys and shit.
I want to see Malta. Everybody's always telling me about Malta.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about that one too. It's between Greece and Rome or whatever.
That's like where Drake goes.
Huh.
It's like, yeah, same thing with Turks and Caicos. It's like that's where like NBA players go in the off season to like, you know.
I could totally see Turks and Caicos being like that. It's too perfect there. The weather,
So my steps right now is, I mean, I'm back doing stand-up, so I'm writing some new jokes. I'm trying to polish my act. But I got to start putting a checklist together of like, I got to do about 20 more minutes. I'm trying to write clean jokes now.
Right.
So I got to write some clean material. I got to write some dirty material just to have on the side.
Right.
Back pocket. I got to have a keyboard bit.
Couple
songs, maybe like 15 minutes of keyboard.
Guitar for sure.
Guitar. Well, I mean, you don't want to do both, I guess. I don't know
dude,
you got to carry all that shit onto a cruise.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Maybe if they had it ready for me.
Well, the keyboard would definitely buy you a lot more time. You'd stand out more because I've only worked with one keyboard act. I've worked with tons of guitar. There's always one guitar act.
Right.
Sometimes there's 3 guitar acts on the boat.
People will watch all 3, though.
Oh, yeah, they will. And they're all different and unique. Dude,
so I just got to get used to, but I got to like write a little bit of keyboard act. I got to get a little better at crowd work, just like real basic crowd work. Where are you from?
Right.
How big are your breasts kind of crowd work.
Yeah.
Yeah. You fucking this? You guys fucking kind of crowd work.
Get good at entertaining kids.
Exactly. I got to get, well, that's part of the clean act. And I got to get like a puppet.
Oh, dude, if you had a puppet, come on.
Just straight
now.
up like, Ronald McDonald looking puppet with like, some strings and shit.
You should do James Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that would kill Celebrity Hot Tub. Woo.
Yeah, just a little bit of that. And then a little bit of just, I got to just figure out like you got to make me a list of like time killers of like, give it up for the wait staff.
You want to get it game. One of the best time killers is
who can do this.
You get games. Yeah, you could have something with the host or something with people in the audience. Now, you guys that seen my shows, you guys already know I pick 2 people out.
Yep.
And then everybody knows.
Well, it's like part of your act is explaining the rules.
Right.
All you got to do is just make up a bunch of rules. And the more you explain the rules, you're still killing time. You're still doing your job.
And these gigs where they don't know you at all. They know nothing about you. I doubt they even Googled you. They don't have internet. So they're going in fresh. You got to kind of let them know who you are in the beginning. I've learned that because you could kind of shock them.
I'm a disabled Army veteran.
Yeah. I come in. I'll tell them in my show where I talk about being dumb. I'll be telling them.
Yeah.
Not smart, really letting them know. Now, can I go? You got to spoon feed it like these Williamsburg shows. Like, can I go? I seen one comic that did the best with me. He's like, can I go dirty with y'all? I mean, can you guys let me push it? And then he never went dirty.
Wow.
He's
just trying to kill time.
Yeah.
That was just like another piece of the pie that's like now gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, who's from California? I know California, huh? LA Dodgers.
Yeah.
Hey, who's from Miami?
You guys eat iguana. I'm sorry, forgive me. I hope I'm not fired for that one.
Miami Dolphins, huh?
There's
Tyreek Hill.
One guy got a tattoo of like a basketball player's ass on his face when he was
Yeah. Other way around.
Yeah, he's got the dude's face on his ass, and he moons the audience and shows them, and you could see his nuts and stuff. It's the strangest thing. He just turns around and shows them, and he gets away with it. So you might have an act like that.
See, that's all you got to. I mean, like, I wonder how much time that kills for you.
Oh, dude.
And then at the end, you do it again.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, too, is that you got to close with a callback here.
Yeah.
So whatever jokes you did in the beginning, Run that shit back.
I've seen one where
Play a song twice.
oh yeah, the intro. Keep doing the intro and say no, back it up, back it up, back it up. That's how you really warm them up.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people will do like 3 intros. They'll be like, I ain't feeling this. Hold on, you know, you throw in a song that's crazy. Look at her face. Nah, she was like, what the heck's going on in here?
Well, it's like you do the thing and then you get to replay it.
Yeah.
Well, you get like let's discuss what just happened. That's more time.
Once you do the thing, I see this a lot, and this really always murders the Steve Harvey Kings of Comedy. Then when you play an old song, when you're like, listen, you guys don't know nothing about this one I'm about to play.
Yeah.
Especially the young folk. It don't matter how old you are. You're 22. You could be like, and then, dude, they play that, and then you kick that stool. Dude, people are going to stand up. Lean on me. I've seen it. Murder.
And in the end, give it up for the troops.
Nothing stronger.
We had a good time. We laugh. We talk jokes. It's all fun, huh? We're all just having a good time, but give it up for the troops, everybody.
Matter of fact, everybody, if you served, can you stand up?
Oh man, beautiful. You take the spotlight off yourself.
Yeah,
it's like you. Give it up for her, huh? 35 years of marriage, huh? Give it up for her.
Yeah, start working up some tears.
You just play the national anthem.
Oh man.
Yeah, and then you say, give it up for the troops. Thank you. Good night. And then you just go upstairs and you do it all again the next day.
Let me say, God is first. People will be, amen. You right.
Yep.
You get people with that. We all together. We one another united.
So everybody at home watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. And also, thank you to the troops.
Yes.